Welcome to Dark Matters, True Crime, the channel where every case drags you deeper into the unknown. Hit that subscribe button and join us, as we explore the darkest corners of the human mind.
Before the world learned the name Chris Watts, before courtrooms, headlines, and true crime debates, Frank Rzucek was simply a father, and later a grandfather, living for the people he loved most. To Frank, family was never a background detail. It was everything. Shanann wasn't just his daughter. She was his heartbeat. From the moment she was born, Frank watched her grow into a woman who loved fiercely, dreamed boldly, and gave everything she had to the people around her. She was strong, outspoken, and deeply devoted to her children. Frank admired that about her. He saw himself in her determination, her loyalty, her refusal to give up even when life pushed back. And then came Bella and Celeste. Frank became Papa the day he held them for the first time, and from that moment on, his world changed. Bella's gentle soul, her quiet kindness, the way she tried to make everyone happy, it melted him. CeCe's wild energy, her fearless laughter, her bright spirit, filled every room she entered. Frank didn't just love his granddaughters. He lived for them. Every visit, every video call, every shared moment was something he cherished deeply. He believed, like many parents do, that his daughter had found a life where she and her children were safe. He believed the smiles. He believed the family photos. He believed that the man Shanann married was someone who would protect her and the girls. That belief would later become his greatest heartbreak. But before everything changed, Frank's life was filled with ordinary joys, barbecues, laughter, phone calls that lasted too long, and conversations about the future. He listened as Shanann and talked about her plans, her goals, and the children she adored. He celebrated her victories and supported her through her struggles. No matter what, she knew her father was always there. When people see Frank Rzucek today, they often see grief. They see a man forever linked to tragedy. But what they don't always see is the foundation beneath that grief. A foundation built on unwavering love. A father who never stopped protecting his daughter, even when she was gone. A grandfather who refuses to let the world forget the joy Bella and CeCe brought into it. A man whose love for his family did not end when his life shattered. It intensified. This is not just a story about loss. This is the story of a father who loved his daughter beyond words, who adored his grandchildren beyond measure, and who now carries their memory with him every single day. And this is where his truth begins.
I am uploading this interview because Frank Rzucek touches on topics that have long stirred questions and conversations surrounding this case. His words provide rare insight into moments that many have wondered about but never fully understood. He reflects on Shanann's time in North Carolina, the 6 weeks she and her daughter spent there, with Chris Watts joining them only in the final week. Frank recalls the strained family dynamics not only between himself and Shanann, but also with the Watts family. At the center of this tension was the now infamous incident known as Nutgate, a conflict that would come to symbolize the fractured relationship between Cindy Watts and Shanann. Beyond that, Frank shares his own observations of Chris Watts over the years. He speaks about the way Chris changed throughout his marriage to Shanann, the shifts in his demeanor, and the unsettling transformation Frank witnessed leading up to the tragedy. He explains the concerns he carried, the subtle warning signs he noticed, and why they left him so deeply uneasy.
Well, first of all, I just want to say I'm very sorry for your loss. These are terrible circumstances to have to meet you, and I'm sorry to have to do this, but I greatly appreciate you taking some time out of your and speaking with us. Let me just get some booking stuff out of the way. Is it Frank? That's your legal name?
Legal name is Franklin.
Franklin? You go by Frank, though?
Yes.
And how do you spell your last name, sir?
Rzucek.
I knew I wouldn't get that one right. What's the date of birth for you? And best phone number to get up? Okay. So I'll just start off with anything that you think you want or needed to tell us. Someone said maybe earlier that you had some information you want to pass on or something. No?
About
I don't know. And there might have been miscommunication, but I thought somebody said you had something that you wanted to pass on to us. Is that not right?
Okay. My mind's just...
No, I understand.
The text, that's all I was talking about earlier, but that was it.
Okay. And was that the Facebook request?
Yeah, they sent a request, and it's probably my wife hasn't called me screaming because I know she probably got one too.
Right. Okay. So what can you tell me about Shanann and Chris and their relationship?
He was a great father.
Okay.
I mean, I couldn't ask for a better father for the kids. I mean, honestly, he did everything for them. Played with them, bathed them. I couldn't ask for someone better.
Okay.
Husband-wise, same way. Never seen any kind of problems with him. I was out here prior to the 6 weeks she was here. I don't know the exact date before they both went on the vacation with her Thrive company.
Mm-hmm.
And watched the kids. There was a little bit of difference in him, but I just took it as being a father. I mean, he was getting a little sterner with the girls. I mean, it was nothing, he was always the quiet type with them.
Mm-hmm.
But he started getting a little sterner with them, and I just took it as being a father. Now he's getting a little bit tired of what they're doing, running them all over, so he's just getting stern with them. Never hit him that I know of. It's hard. There's different things that was going on. I mean, he did change his, they were going through this new Thrive stuff, or she was selling, and he started getting himself all built up and lost a lot of weight. But he was always a body type person, always took care of his body and all that. So they did come out. Janet came out for 6 weeks with the girls. They were going back and forth from our house to his house, his mother's house.
Okay.
And the little Celeste had allergies to nuts,
mm-hmm.
tree nuts. Very allergic to them. She had 2 EpiPens she had to carry with her. So she told us all, get rid of anything that's got nuts or any, just get it up high enough. Don't gotta throw it away, just get it out, no problem. My wife cleaned the whole house out. I mean, I had to go looking for stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She took underneath every cabinet. So she told Chris's parents the same thing. They did go over her house a couple times, and Chris's mom really never got along with Shanann because she took her son away from him. That's how we took it. They didn't come to her wedding, their engagement party. They didn't come to nothing to theirs. So when Shanann was over, I think it was the 2nd week she was there, the weekend, she had called me up frantically and said, get me the hell out of here now. The mother had nuts all over the place, and they're all worn. And she was there a week prior and told her to make sure this is this way. So the mother, at that time, Shanann was feeding the girls some hot dogs for lunch and all this, and she had her other 2 nieces and nephews over. And they came out with ice cream with all these nuts in it. And so ended up being, Shanann and her had little words. And Shanann said no. And she called me up and said, I got to go. We just had a blowout because, she's got nuts on the table, nuts on the in the cabinet right there open for this little girl. And she said, no, I'm done. And so she told Shanann, well, that's just a training lesson or something like that to her, I'm like, it's a 3-year-old girl you're talking to. It's not something you're trying to, discipline. Birthday present, hey, your sister's getting a birthday present today. You're not getting one because it's not your birthday. That's some kind of, saying this is what you do,
Right.
So Shanann called Chris and told Chris about it. So Chris said he called his parents that night, and his mother told him the same thing. That's what we heard. I didn't hear it, but that's what Shanann had said. So, of course, Shanann never went back to the house with the children. She stayed at our house. So there was a few times that Shanann would FaceTime Chris, because she would FaceTime every night because of the children.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a few times, I mean, a couple of times it did catch me off guard, like, what's going on? Because she was like, are you going to pay attention to the children? Like he was in another world out there. And he's like, yeah. And then, like I said, and I started saying, well, what's he doing? Is he just not, ignoring them and just not paying attention, watching TV or whatever, when he came out, he was the same way. If you've ever seen anything, if you've seen with Chris, he's just the same way. That's how he is. There's everything you see in the courtrooms or whatever, he's the same way. That's just how he was.
As far as
his demeanor, he was just more straightforward and didn't,
quiet.
Yeah, he wasn't the really, he would talk to us when we were there. Everything he'd have a good time, but it just doesn't, we went to the beach. The kids, it was the first time they ever went to the beach. And he was like the same way. I mean, it didn't dawn on me anything. And Shanann never said anything to us about a separation, fights. I mean, I don't know if she wanted to just keep it from us and not, get us involved in it. So we knew nothing about anything that they were doing, separation or any of this stuff, until this all happened. And friends of Shanann said, no, this is what was going on. And they said, they had a suspicion that he may have been cheating on her, because she had come home when he went. She was gone Saturday he was going to a baseball game. And it was, I caught that kind of odd, because he never leaves the kids with somebody else if Shannon's not there. He's usually always home. Okay, they made the arrangement to go to a baseball game, but she came home and she checked her finances on the phone and found out he spent $60-something for dinner. And he says, yeah, I went out and had salmon and a couple of beers. So, I mean, unless you went to a real expensive restaurant, $60 for a couple of beers, and that may have caused a little bit of, with her, like I said, if she knew anything that was thought something, that really threw her off, saying $60 for salmon and that.
So he told her that, or she called him?
No, I don't know if she was home at the time or if she called him up. But I mean, it just didn't sound right to her.
Okay. And how do you know that conversation? Did she tell you this?
No, somebody else told her.
Else?
Her girlfriend, I think she told Nikki, the one that was there, and then she told us. And I mean, like I said, that some of the stuff is kind of not all my words. So
right, and I just need to make sure I understand which is.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hear that personally from anybody.
Okay.
I believe we talked to him and the kids that Sunday night for FaceTime. I believe Bella was eating cold pizza and some kind of a Jolly Rancher taffy or something like that it was. And that was the last time I've talked to anybody. I haven't, the last time I talked to my daughter, I gotta look at my phone. It was a while, because she went away, and I usually don't bother her when she's away. I'll text her here and there, but that's the last until that morning when that afternoon we found everything out.
How did you guys find out?
My wife was trying to get a hold of Chris. Well, first she tried to get a hold of my daughter. That Monday morning. She kept calling her, couldn't get her, so she texted her, and she texted her something. Well, she says she texted her. If Shanann didn't want to be bothered with my wife, because my wife can be a little pushy sometimes, she may tell her to go F and just leave me alone, I text her back, I'm fine, just leave me alone. So, I mean, she never called me to say, hey, can you text Shanann to find out? So, nothing. And then she called Chris, told Chris that you better call the hospital or something, because Shannon's not answering her phone, and she's supposed to take Bella to kindergarten. And when Shanann was here, she was just so excited to take her, because I said, why don't you take her to the new school you guys just had built up the street? She said, no, Dad, because then if she does that, then she's got to go to pre-K again. I want her to start kindergarten right now. And my daughter's a stickler when it comes to being on time and everything. So when Sandy got off the phone with Chris, or Chris called her back. So, yeah, I texted her a few times. She's in one of her moods. She said she was going to her girlfriend's house, and that we had a little bit of a fight this morning, but nothing. And then Nicole called Sandy up and told her that the police are at the house because she can't get a hold of Sandy. Get a hold of Shannon. That's the one that dropped her off that night. And she said, I can't get in the front door because the lock was on, the safety lock I put on there. And so then they got a hold of the cops. I called Chris twice and said, where are you? They're at the house. Where's Shannon? Blah, blah, blah. I said, I'm on my way. I'm flying. I'm getting there. And then he got to the house, and then all this was going down. And then I don't know if it was the same day that Nate had called me and said that he had it on video that he backed his truck into the driveway that morning, which never ever gets back. I was living out here for over a year and a half in their house, and that truck never ever, his company truck never got pulled into that driveway because it leaked oil, from what Shannon said, and she didn't want her driveway dirty with oil. So it would never, he would have to take it to a car wash and everything, and nothing was ever done in that house with that truck because it's a company truck. So when he told me that, and then he threw at me, he said, yeah, and then, it was kind of funny because when you guys were gone, she was gone, he would took her car out of the driveway, out of the garage, and parked it down the street for a couple of days. I'm like, what? Why would he do something like that? So, and then when he told me the truck was back into the driveway, and then I heard, but Sandy was on the phone with them when they got into the house, and I was there, and they said her cell phone is here, her purse is here, and then when I ended up getting a hold of the police, I said, you better get his GPS. I didn't say it that way, but I said, you better get his GPS because something is wrong. That man never pulls his truck in, and it's in the driveway.
I'm sorry, Nate told you this?
Yes, Nate.
Who's Nate?
Nate's his neighbor.
The neighbor, okay.
Mm-hmm. He's the one who had all this on the video.
The camera, gotcha.
The cop's like, well, we got to do what we got to do. She might have just ran away. I said, no. My daughter's phone is like a magnet. That phone does not leave her side. I don't care where she is. That phone is with her 24/7. That's her business. She runs the Thrive business, and she never leaves the house without her phone. I told the cops, there's, you can say what you've got to say, but there's something wrong. And there's just so much stuff that's been going on afterwards, and I went on TV and thanked everybody for it because I just can't understand them. And for him to do what they say he did to these two little children, or saying my daughter did, I don't believe that at all. But she would never ever hurt those kids. That was her life. And to have another baby, it was just, that's her life. She took care of kids all her life, and I don't know how you could kill two little kids and then throw them in an oil tank. When I heard that just really,
it's hard to wrap your head around.
Yeah, it's just, like I said, but like I told the DA, I said, I can't lie. He was a good dad, and he was a good father from what we know. Their financials and everything else, I don't know nothing about them. She never talked to anything about it to us. Now she did speak to a few friends and told them what was going on. But other than that, I didn't know anything that was wrong with them.
So you had no idea if they were in financial troubles? They never asked to borrow money or anything like that?
No.
Okay. And she never said anything about them not getting along?
No.
Or them...
Because if I would have known that she and him were having an argument or fighting, and she felt unsafe going home with him, I would have been right there with her, because, just don't trust nobody.
Yeah. How did they meet?
They met through a friend of, I believe it was either hers or his, in North Carolina. Mm-hmm. And at the time she was going through, like they say, she was going through some hard times with her lupus, and he was there. And she couldn't talk more about them. She used to have migraines. She had lupus. She had migraines. She had fibromyalgia. She had all these diseases, and she said to us one time, she said, "Mom and Dad, you know, my head was hurting me so bad that I fell asleep on his lap. He was rubbing my head, and he stayed there for hours with me. Didn't even move. Didn't even bother to get up. Just let me stay there, you know." So I don't, you know, they met in North Carolina, and then they got married out there, and then they moved out here. Through one of her friends that said that the weather out here was better. She came out here to visit, and then they moved out here, which of course, you know, we didn't like that.
Right.
It was so far away.
Right. So is that the reason they moved out here, is because the weather was better,
Better for her.
medical conditions?
Yes.
Okay. So I talked to one of Chris's, one of their friends that said that he moved out. Did he just transfer job?
What happened was when he came out, he came out here to talk to some people to find a job, and somebody knew him as he was a master mechanic.
Uh-huh.
So he ended up finding a job real quick out here.
Okay.
So he stayed out here while she was back home because she owned a house out in Charlotte. So she stayed out there so she can get everything done. We helped her pack and load up everything, and it went out this way, and then she came out. But yeah, she did stay back because she had to sell her house.
Okay. When did they move to Colorado? Do you remember roughly?
4 years ago, maybe.
4 years ago.
Bella's 5 years, maybe, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know the exact time when they moved out here.
Okay. I just wanted to go back to something you said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Was it the neighbor that told you that the car was parked down the street? That's Shannon's Lexus SUV?
Yeah.
Okay. And
because when he told me that, I said, "Did you tell the police this?" He said, "I told him everything, right?
Okay.
Everything that I knew about what was going on here, I told him everything."
And when was that parked down the street? You know?
I don't know. I don't really know the dates, but Chris had told him that they said there's some break-in. Shannon had told me they had some break-in, car break-ins, and someone left the garage open and someone stole stuff. And he had told Nate that somebody was stealing some stuff out of his truck. So can he park it in front of his house across the street at the time so he can, you know, if anything goes on with the camera, he could see it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Nate said, "No problem. I have nothing to think about anything." So yeah. So I mean, and then he deleted his Facebook page. I believe it was, he told me that when I called him up, I said, "Everybody's calling and trying to find out why don't you have your Facebook page or trying to contact you." He said, "Oh no, I deleted that like a week and a half ago." So he took his Facebook page right off.
When was that? Do you remember?
What's that?
That he took his Facebook page?
I talked to him that Monday that they went missing. And he had told me he took his Facebook off about a week and a half ago because he was just tired of being on there. And I never contacted the man on Facebook, except to call him on FaceTime. I mean, I never called. That's through his phone, but I never called. I mean, everything that was through his phone, I guarantee you, and all the pictures that was on there and comments, a lot of them Shannon did because he never really went on Facebook. He wasn't that type of person, but he had the page. But then all of a sudden, it was a week and a half. I said, "Why'd you do that?" "I was just tired of being on social media and stuff like that." So he deleted it.
Okay. Do you know of any other social media pages he had?
Mm-mm.
No.
No.
So they moved out here before Bella was born?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Bella was born out here. Bella was born out here in 2013.
Okay.
Because she would be turned 5 in December.
Right. Tell me about the pregnancy. How did you guys find out, and what did they say about that?
Well, she just found out she was pregnant.
Yes.
Oh, she called us and told us
Okay.
that she was pregnant again. And it's something that, with her health, she had problems with Bella, she had problems with Celeste, and we were worried about her health.
Mm.
Now, I understand you want to try to have a boy, but we're worried about your health before you have another baby. And they were trying, from what we were told, they were trying to have another baby. And then when she was pregnant, she had, every time she was pregnant, she did something big for Chris. This surprise, go upstairs and read this, and she had shirts made for everybody. They said, we're expecting again or something like that. It said, and he came walking in the house because she had on video. She's got to have 6,000 videos and pictures on her phone. And you see him come in. He was all excited and everything else, and I don't know. And then that Monday when she came back, she told Chris had told us that she had a sealed letter. So what he told her, this was enough, because we kept asking Shanann, what is it? I don't know yet, Dad. I don't know yet. And we know she went to the doctor before she left. She said, I don't know. And then he said that she had a sealed envelope or a sealed letter from the doctor's office telling them what the sex was of the baby. So I never got to see that in her.
So who prompted having a third child? Was that her idea? Was he pushing for it? Do you know?
They were trying to have a boy. He wanted to have a boy.
Okay.
Even though Celeste was a tomboy.
Yeah.
She was a...
When was the last time you talked to Shanann?
Before she left. I can look at my phone and tell you exactly.
Before she left for Arizona? Okay.
And then I just texted her, told her to have a safe trip back, and
how often would you talk to her?
Every day.
Every day?
Every day we'd FaceTime. Didn't miss a day. If I missed a day, I was going crazy without seeing them kids.
But that's when she was at home? Is that what you said?
I FaceTimed them even when Chris was there. So if she wasn't there, I still FaceTimed.
Okay.
I FaceTimed almost every night unless I got home late from work and the babies were sleeping.
Okay. But you didn't talk to Shanann when she was on trips, generally?
Stuff we just text.
Okay.
I never, like I said, I never really bothered her when they were out. I mean, she'd take pictures of everybody and she'd be on, live and do all that. I usually never bothered her when she was there. I text her and how you doing? Is everything all right?
Okay. But you'd FaceTime every day to talk to the kids?
Every day to talk to the kids.
Okay. Even if she wasn't there?
Even if she wasn't there.
Gotcha.
Like I said, that Sunday I did call. We did FaceTime them and they were, I asked Chris how everything going. Everything going good. Bella said something about Mommy coming home. I said, yeah, she's not coming home till midnight and she'll be home tomorrow. And
you remember what time on Sunday you FaceTimed?
They were eating dinner, so it had to be about 7 o'clock our time.
7 o'clock?
North Carolina time. Because they usually eat around 5 o'clock, and Shanann is kids eat at this time. even when they came out North Carolina, I said, Shanann, you got to give them a little bit of break because it's different time now.
Right.
So now you're giving them food at 3 o'clock, and they're used to eating at 5 o'clock. So you got to give them a little bit of break. So yeah, she was. I mean, kids took naps at 12 o'clock every day. I mean, she had them on a great schedule. They did it.
And nothing out of the ordinary on the FaceTime on Sunday?
It didn't. Chris is Chris. I mean, nothing ever gave me any kind of a thing that there was a problem with at that house.
What did you think when you first heard that people couldn't get a hold of Shanann?
Well, when Sandy said she couldn't get a hold of Shanann, it didn't. I mean, it's because I know sometimes Shannon's like, "Mom, just leave me alone." She doesn't do it. But sometimes if Sandy couldn't get a hold of her, she'd say, "Can you text her and find out what's going on?" Shanann would answer pretty much me all the time. So she never called me. When I found out she was missing, and then before I even knew about the truck, and they said her phone was in there, I told them right away there's something wrong. And then she said the front door had the security lock on it because I put one on there when I was out there. something similar to these. We put the latch on so the girls open the door, they can't get out. And I put one on there, and I put one on the garage door.
You know, did they usually leave those engaged, or?
I had that question already. Shanann, if she got home late like that, she may do it. Shanann did it more than Chris would do it, just because the girls would open the door. You know, especially if they seen him pull up, they'd open the door and they'd run out, and they wouldn't run out like kids do.
Right.
You know, they don't know a street. You know, so yeah, if Shanann did come home late that night, she probably did lock that and put that across.
Okay.
And when they told me that was on, the back door was locked from the inside. The only way she got out would be the garage. They're like, well, she could have. No. My daughter's not climbing over no fence with no kids. My daughter is like my wife. I'd be arrested and he'd be arrested before she left that house. So I mean, that's just the way they are. They're Italian. So yeah, when they told me that, I understand what they had to do. They had to go in their steps and do all that. But you know, when I lived out here for so long, I mean, I know everybody's routine here, and she doesn't do it. And then they're saying, well, maybe somebody came in the garage and this and that. She doesn't open that garage door until the kids are in the car, because they'll take off.
Right.
So that door never gets opened. I was like, well, anybody was in that garage, they would have had to get her from the inside, and they still would have had to go outside, and Nate's camera would have caught them then. And that's what really, you know, I gave these cops some types of earfuls. So sometimes it wasn't the pleasant, but they listened to me. And I was there. I know it. You know, and that first day when they said she was missing, I just knew something was wrong, because she doesn't do it. And then to find out the EpiPen was there, no.
Yeah.
That was her life right there.
But you didn't immediately think Chris had done something to her? Is that what you thought?
Yes.
Okay.
Because that's not like her, and he was the only one to see her that night. I know her. She went and left that house.
Yeah. When did you live out there?
We've been back a little over a year now. This Christmas I was here. The Christmas prior to it, I was out there. So
the last Christmas.
Christmas I was here.
Here in Colorado.
Here.
Okay,
out there.
that's what I was clear. So last Christmas
I was in North Carolina.
Okay.
Christmas prior to that, I know I was out here, and I think we spent 2 Christmases out here.
Okay.
I believe. I'm not sure. But I know I was out here that Christmas prior to that one. Because I made Christmas wreaths out in North Carolina, and the gentleman wanted me back bad, so he flew me out there.
Really?
Yeah.
Make Christmas wreaths?
Yeah.
Wow.
He wasn't losing any money no more. Because the year prior to that, that's right, the year prior to that, I'd left. So I was out there for 2 Christmases. Because the year before that, I left him, and he wasn't happy, because then he had to buy pre-made ones, and he didn't like that. He didn't make the money, so.
Gotcha. Okay. So for 2015 and 2016 Christmas,
I was here.
You were in Colorado. Okay. Do you remember about how long? Was it just that year, or was it?
It was like 15, 16 months or something like that. I was here.
And was your wife with you?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm sorry, what is her name?
Sandra.
Same last name, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Do you know her date of birth?
8/27/64.
Coming up, huh?
To get back to Chris.
Yeah.
The girls, when they were out there, they got punished for any reason. Even at the house here, they'd always cry for daddy. Daddy, daddy, daddy. Like, you know, daddy's the easy one. They can get away with everything. You know, go in the corner. Oh, daddy, daddy, daddy. When they were with me, Shanann had set it up because I was out here for that week, and she wanted to come to visit everybody. It went from a week, then it went to 2 weeks. And she says, "No, let me do it 6 weeks." She's been the summer. So she set it up so she could have the air flight with me so we can come back together, so she wouldn't try to put 2 little kids on an airplane by herself. And when I had them, since I'm going to get some, go to the bathroom or whatever, they were great. Then all of a sudden they're looking for mommy, so they take off. I was being like an O.J. Simpson going through airports chasing these 2 little kids. And I caught them, and they were at the bathroom, and Bella was just like screaming like on top of her lungs like somebody was trying to steal her. I'm like, "Bella, your mother's coming." And I'm holding them, and then right in the middle of an airport, and I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna be arrested here for these 2 little kids screaming for their mother." And I was like right in front of the women's room, so I'm like sitting down. I wasn't about to try to pick them up and carry, and I'm like, these kids are like there to get me arrested and everything else. I'm like, you know, and when they came back to the house, they did the same thing with Chris. And now that I look at things and see what happened, why he may have done something like this, maybe he just got tired of hearing these kids cry for mommy all the time and not him. And always, mommy disappeared, they're flying to her and not to him. And, you know, maybe he had a little bit of a resentment in him. I don't know, but kids always go to their mother.
Yeah.
You know, they always go, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, go." I say, "Go see your mommy." You want to go? Go. You know, I'm better off. So things like that, you know, after this fact here is just, well, is this something that could have happened? When I left them at the airport to come back home, and I left them, you know, I was going down the escalator, and Celeste comes flying to the escalator. I go flying back up, but I don't need this little kid coming on his escalator. And it was just, oh, give me a kiss and kiss and kiss and kiss and kiss. And they all came over to the elevator, and they're all blowing these kisses to me. And Chris's father was very close with the kids from what I can see all the time. Sometimes me and him be on a text message. She put a picture up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and me and him be like, you know, beautiful, love it. And it seemed like me and him were like in competition to see which way we went with the picture, you know? And, you know, so, but Chris and his parents they're different than I'll say from us. I mean, it seems as though we have heart and feelings, and sometimes you see them and some stuff didn't bother them. Now that could be just the way they're brought up. I have, you know, people are brought up all different ways. But I feel that also Chris may have thought that if something did happen just to Shanann, he knew it would happen to him, but maybe he knew that, hey, no, these kids are not going to her parents. So these things run through my head, you know, in thinking of what maybe he was thinking of, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, is it normal for them to come out for that long during the summer?
No, this was the first time Shanann did it.
Okay.
Because she knew that she was going to be pregnant and that she wouldn't be able to come, you know, start flying. And she figured that if she came out, she'd be able to spend time with us and his family. Okay. So that everybody could see the kids for the summer and do whatever, you know, we could do. We all were planning on like going to the beach at the end of because Chris was coming out the last week, and we were all planning his family and everybody, you know, go to the beach and everybody have a good time. So no, they never come out that long. Because she called me up and she said, "Dad, I'm gonna come out for the summer, come out for, in the summertime and spend some time with you guys, because, we always come out here to watch the kids. Me and the wife always come out and take time. We take our vacations to come out here and watch the kids while they go on their vacations, because the company pays for everything. So we come out, okay, yeah, great, because we get to spend time with the kids. So one of us come out here. So this was totally, different. Like she said, I come out for 2 weeks. I said, okay, no problem. And then she called me back, says, well, maybe I'll come out for a little longer. I said, can you handle being with your mother longer? Well, I'll just have to try to work that out. I said, okay. Because they're, my wife always says, my kids don't take after me. I said, oh, your daughter is, you guys, and me and my son are the same way. It's like butt heads all the time. Right. It could be the simplest thing, and we're just butting heads. So it's not like they fought. It was just, they just butt heads. And I said, well, if you can handle it, then fine. And then she said, okay. And then she called me back and said, well, Mom's birthday's coming up too, and maybe we'll just stay out there for a little longer and just spend, I'll go stay here with you and then go by Chris's family, and we go back and forth. No problem. So it was nothing. That was the first time it happened, and I guess it gave him time to think about what he's going to do. Because I don't think this was a spur of the moment thing.
Why are you saying that?
Well, because stuff don't add up. Why would you move the car out of the garage? Supposedly we're here and you have a girlfriend. You pretty much knew where to take them. I don't know why you would take them to your job. I mean, there's plenty of places out in Colorado. I drove for Lowe's out here, and I went to the mountains, and there's some canyons out there that I don't think anybody be found. Right. It just doesn't add up the way it happened, And the thing is, it's just, you taking the car out of the garage and doing these different things that you never ever do.
So when did that happen? When did he take the car out of the garage?
I don't know the dates. Okay. Nate would know if you need to speak to him. He'd probably be able to give you a better idea, but I know he said, yeah, it was like a few weeks he was gone, and he pulls the car out and not parks it across the street, but parks it down the street. Like, why would you do that? And my daughter got the Lexus through the company. They make a certain amount of money, and then they give you money to go out. It's like a Lexus, Mercedes, Audi. You got to get all these big expensive cars. And so she hit her thing, and they give her you go out and you get your car, and then they send you, I think they were saying she gets like $800 a month for the car. So they pay for the car, plus you get your money and everything else. And but why would he park his car? And I was sitting there when Shanann called him up that night before he was coming. She said, why don't you call an Uber to make sure you get a ride to the airport? Because this airport's expensive as hell to pay for. And he said, all right, I'll do that. And then he came out and he said, no, I forgot to get an Uber. I left the car out at the airport. And she was like, you left my car outside. And then she heard you guys had that hailstorm, and she was like, oh my God, what are you doing, Chris? Better not go back and find it damaged. And we were driving home, I was driving him up there, and I said, Chris, I hope that car ain't damaged, buddy. He said, yeah, I'll just go out there and get it and just make the phone call, make the claim, and not go back. I was like, good idea. I mean, the things that he was doing prior to that I'm hearing doesn't add up to him just on a spur of the moment doing something.
Yeah. So it'd definitely be...
My daughter, even though she was 15 months pregnant, is a fighter. She has legs on her to throw you across this room. And if he did do something, he did this, I still say he did this while she was sleeping, because he would not look the way he looks right now if she was up. She would have wailed him. I mean, she would not have just not given a fight. Mm-mm.
I know you said she had lupus, fibromyalgia,
She had lupus,
migraines.
fibromyalgia, migraines. She just recently, a year or so ago, had neck surgery. She had they had replaced something in her back for her neck. I mean, she probably had more diseases that, you know, she rattles them on, but I don't remember everything she said.
Right.
You know.
Okay. But she always been that way? I mean, she had a lot of medical issues when she was a kid?
Well, when she was a kid, see, we didn't know anything. So when she was a baby, or she was a kid, even a teenager, we took her to all these doctors because she always had migraines, always bad migraines. I mean, she had to go to the hospital. She took those real strong pills and everything else, and she used to go get shots and all this for it. And we took her to all kind of doctors when she was little, brain surgeons. We took her to everybody to find out why she kept having these problems, and nobody could find out until one day when she was living in Charlotte. She went to a doctor, and they happened to test her for it, and they found out she had it. I mean, that was just a godsend there that somebody actually took the test and did it.
And that's when they found out she had
lupus.
The lupus? Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, so now when people tell me they have all these different, I said, please tell them to check you for lupus. I mean, it's another test. Just tell them to take another test. I mean, you go to a doctor, they give you 50,000 tests anyway, so
Right.
they might have had another one too.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't hurt since we didn't know nothing about it. So, you know, people tell us they're having, you know, aches and pains, they're having this, and they're going, well, have them test you for lupus. Because Shanann went through all this for years, and we never knew it. And someone found out, and when she did find out, I mean, she couldn't eat gluten food. I mean, she couldn't do a lot of things. And then when she came out here, and I mean, this stuff here is not medical. It's not even, I don't think it's FDA approved or whatever it is. But when she came out here, people kept trying to get her to go on this stuff, and, you know, it helps, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, everybody's expecting, no, I'm not spending all this money on this stuff. Who knows if it works. When she got on that stuff there, she stopped taking, from what I know, she said she stopped taking all her lupus stuff.
And you're talking about the Thrive?
Mm-hmm.
Is that vitamins? Is that a vitamin patch? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's a patch,
Yeah.
it's a shake, and it's pills, and
Okay.
it's a boost. The boost works really good because I was one that drank 2 Monsters a day. And a friend of ours' daughter, she was a guard in the prison. She came home. She worked nights. She came home one morning, and she drank a Red Bull, had a heart attack, and died.
Wow.
So I stopped once I heard that. I stopped them, and the boost I take, and that stuff really works.
Did your wife take it too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about any mental conditions or any psychiatric help or anything like that she had when she was growing up?
No.
Never heard of anything? Ever heard of her going to a psychologist or psychiatrist or counselor or anything like that?
Not that I can recall.
Did she ever have any problems with the pregnancies with Bella and Celeste?
Bella, she had, I don't think she had, she may have had a little bit of a, you know, whatever normal pregnancy, but Celeste, she did have more pain. She had different things with Bella. Celeste, sorry, I'm not
That's
a woman, so I don't know all the medical terms for what they had, but I know she had problems. That's why we were worried about her having a third one, because plus her having the lupus and everything else, it's very rare that someone that has lupus will get pregnant. And she did, and then she had another one. And then when I heard she was having another one, I'm like, Shanann, you sure? You know, we're worried about you. Even with Celeste, we was like, because she probably did have a problem with Bella. That's why we're so worried about it with Celeste. And I'm fine. And, you know, parents are worried about, you know, your daughter.
Right.
You know, I want a baby, but, you know, you come first.
Right.
So, yeah, she probably did have some medical issues with them. Nothing. I mean, between having the baby on the spine and giving her the problems, I don't think the neck problem was part of that. It may have been. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. How about after the pregnancy, like postpartum depression, anything like that? No.
No. I can show you pictures of it. Just no. Bella, she took pictures every month. Bella would have a sticker on her, 2 months old, and I mean, it was just. So I told the DA that I know you guys got her phone, but please, when everything clears, I just want the pictures off it. You can keep the phone, you can do whatever you want with the pictures and everything else, but I just please download these pictures because she would. Dad, look. You know, my hair would be up in the morning all over the place. She'd be snapping these pictures, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't stop.
I heard you like putting it on Facebook. Huh?
Oh, yeah, I mean, everything went on Facebook. I mean, I didn't mind. You know, my wife said, no, I didn't care what I looked like. You know, as my grandkids, I don't care. My hair was sticking up, and I was sitting there, and, you know, half asleep or whatever. I didn't care. Yeah, do it. I don't care. Oh yeah, she was she's and not just one or two. She'd sit there and keep snapping at you.
Yeah.
I'll just delete the ones I want. Yeah, you ain't deleting nothing.
Not buying that.
I'm not buying that at all.
How about Chris? Do you know if he had any medical issues?
I know he had, I mean, besides a hernia or something like that, but
No, like ongoing medical issues?
not that I know of. You said that there's something that may be there, but I don't remember anything about it. So
Okay. How about psychiatric or?
that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I mean, he never went to a doctor for anything that I know of, but
Mhm.
I forgot. Shannon said something was with him. Or I don't know, but I don't know nothing.
Okay. When you said Shannon said something, do you remember if that was like in a text or over the phone or in person?
No, she told me, but this is going back years ago. I mean, that's why when you said that, it just I was trying to bring it back, but I'm not 100% sure on any of that, so I can't say.
Okay. And how about with the kids? Ongoing medical issues. I know Celeste had
Celeste has some allergies to the nuts.
tree nuts. Is that right?
Yeah, they had some other allergies to grass and all that other stuff. Bella had she was little. She was allergic to eggs. And she couldn't have the milk. She had to have another milk, but because she put them all through. And Celeste also had a problem with her throat because they had to put her to do a test on her throat when she was little because she was having a hard time swallowing. But that went away.
Okay.
Boy, that went away.
That was Celeste, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bella had, they had a little bit of allergy type things, but nothing that. Celeste was the main one right now.
Yeah.
Because of the nuts. So
Did Bella's egg allergy go away?
Bella's allergy, after because they never gave her eggs anyway, so
Okay.
she couldn't have like cakes or nothing. Because even if it was cooked, her throat would get a little bit clogged up. I mean, mine does that too, but it's Shannon was no. So Bella was pretty much, there was really nothing that I can recall that she couldn't eat. But Celeste was really the one we were worried about. Ooh, excuse me.
How often did you talk to Chris?
On Facebook every night.
Okay.
Because they usually text. We usually call them, and they were eating. And that was the best time to talk to the girls because otherwise they would be either playing or watching TV. And when they start watching their guppy people and everything else, you ain't getting their heads to move. I mean, you go in front of them and they're like. Yeah, so we would talk to Chris every night. Hey, how you doing? How's work and all that? Yeah, I talk sports with him. I mean, yeah.
On Facebook, you said? FaceTime.
FaceTime, yeah.
FaceTime, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I never called Chris to just talk to him, no. It was always on
it was for the
FaceTime.
kids? Okay. Did you talk to him on Saturday? Do you know?
See, I didn't call him this weekend, otherwise it would still be on my phone. My wife called him. I know I talked to him Sunday night. I could swear I talked to him Sunday night because Bella was eating cold pizza. She wanted cold pizza. I didn't see Celeste. I heard her. I didn't see Celeste, but I heard her. And that's when she said, "Oh, Mommy's coming home." And he said, "Yeah, Mommy's coming home tonight. So tomorrow morning you wake up, Mommy will be here." So. And my wife wanted to delete stuff, so she couldn't pull it back up. But I told her, I said, no, we did talk to him because they went to a birthday party that day.
Mm-hmm.
Or 2 birthday parties or something they were going to. So they did go to some birthday parties.
Okay. What am I missing? Anything else that you think we should know? Any questions that we haven't asked you?
I mean, I don't. I mean, I don't know. I mean, just the stuff that he did doesn't add up to why he took cars out and did this and did that, and like I told them, I mean, I can't lie about the man. He was a good father and a good husband. Can't come back and say no, he was this and that. I can't do it. It's not in me to do that.
Right.
Because it's all over Facebook that he was not a bad guy. So I can't do that to him. I can do it to him now, say he's a bad guy, but I can't say nothing about prior to that. It's just like I said, his dad was, from what I saw, his dad was very close to the girls. When he came out here, he was all over the girls. I mean, all over them. I mean, color with them, play with them. I mean, they'd wake him up and he was sleeping on the couch. I mean, the mom was more of a distance person.
Did he have any brothers or sisters then?
He had a sister. She never came out here. From what people tell me, she was at the house the day that all this happened. Now, I don't know about that. But yeah, he's got a sister. She's got 2 kids, and his mother watches those 2 kids like 3 or 4 days a week. Because supposedly she works nights and she goes out on business. She works at the hospital. The day they all went missing, I mean, we weren't really, because after the fight, they all took us off of Facebook. They all blocked us.
After the fight about the nuts and stuff?
They all blocked us. Okay. And it was strange because his father didn't do it for a while because I kept getting his posts on my thing.
Uh-huh.
And then all of a sudden the father did it. Sister didn't actually do it to me, but they just blocked us all of a sudden. And the sister today, that Monday when they got missing, I had text her on Messenger and said, "Did Chris call you and tell you that Shanann and the girls are missing?" Never got a response from her. Never. And it wasn't like I was trying to do anything. I just want to let you know, if Chris didn't get you yet, I want to give you the heads up on it. We never got a response. Frankie, if you ask him, he's got messages from her because she finally got a hold of him. I don't know what else. I mean, if I think of anything, but like I said to Frederick, we were talking the other day about some stuff. He was asking me about the Jack and Jill bathrooms. Yes, they were constantly locked because they didn't want the girls to go together at nighttime. The lock, like you asked, I would say yes, she probably did lock it. I know the garage one she used to always lock. Other than that, I mean, I never seen anything that was wrong in that house when I lived there, or even talked to them. I mean, she never told us anything. Never.
That just reminded me of something. When the police were there with Shannon's friend, and they called Chris to get into the house. He said that the keypad to the garage wasn't working.
Yes,
Are you
it does
familiar
not
with
work.
that? That is
It
correct.
didn't work when I was out there.
Didn't work when you were out there? Okay.
No, because she asked me the code, and I told her the code. It was 2385. As far as I remember, it was 2385. And she said, no, it's not working, it's not working. And then I knew it was still not working. Prior to when Shanann was here, well, out there by me, they were having a problem with the garage door. It would just, all the time would just repeat itself, saying someone's opening the garage. Garage is opening, garage is opening. And she kept telling him to call to get it fixed. And he said, I'm working, he's doing it. And then he fixed it. And that's why when I asked the police, did the alarm show anything more from the morning? And they said it did go off. And I was like, well, I know she said she was having a problem with it. No. Whether he ever got it fixed or not, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the only other thing that I the keypad did not work.
Okay.
Yeah.
And does Shannon have any siblings other than Frankie?
No.
No.
No, we were lucky ones and had a boy and a girl.
All right. Well, I'm sure your head's spinning, so you can't think anything else.
Yeah, I mean, he just is like, now that everything happened. Now I look back and there was maybe why was he getting mad at the kids for it? I can't. I just thought at the time it was just father getting a little bit sterner now. Say, you're not going to get over on me now. I'm gonna, he wouldn't, because when I was out here, he did it, and I looked at him like, is that you? You yelling at the girls? I never heard you do that. It was like, okay, maybe you're just doing your thing. And it wasn't a constant thing. It just caught me off guard because it never did it. Oh, Bella, come on, let's go, Bella, or Celeste. And, to hear him raise his voice like that, I was like, whoa.
And that's when he was out in North Carolina?
No, when I was out here just before they left.
Oh, okay.
Whoa, okay. You're getting a little bit sterner there, but nothing that I would think of.
Right.
This would ever come through.
Right.
Like, okay, you're getting a little sterner with the girls. Okay. Just that the girls just, I don't know. They're girls. Sorry. I don't think of anything that would come top of my head right now.
All right. Well, I really appreciate you taking time to talk to us. I know it's a tough thing to do, especially right now. I appreciate you.
Yeah, it's been, we have our good times and we have a real downtime. So
Imagine. Yeah.
the past couple of days were really bad. This morning was even harder.
Really?
Yeah, to see him.
I can't imagine. Can't imagine what you're going through.
Yeah, so it's real hard. I'm trying to even think of what they were talking about the other day. Frederick Crawford talked to me about if there was anything that they said that I can't remember now. Can't remember now. I mean, if anything does come up, and I'll give you guys a call and say, hey,
so I'll
this come up, and
leave my card, and I got my cell phone on here too. So,
this come up, and this is what I'm thinking. But like I said, I don't. Yes, did I think he did something right away? Yes. I wouldn't think it, but yes.
Yeah.
When I found out everything was left in the house and he was the last one to leave that house, yes, he did something right then and there. I knew he did something to them.
Okay.
Because the car, everything was left there, and the house wasn't a mess. Besides, they said the bed. No. She would have fought somebody.
Yeah.
So that's why I say something had to be done when she was sleeping, because of she would have given a big fight, and how big he was. I think he would have went down, because she's got a leg on her, and she would have kicked him and he would have went down. I'm sorry to say it, but she would have went right for that, and he would have been down. So that's what I'm saying. You know, oh, they were asking me, I don't know if you knew about it, they were asking me about the pillow and the blanket or something like that on the couch. It's not uncommon for it to be there. There was either a big blue, like a big king size blanket out there, or a big burgundy. I'm colorblind, so if something's not 100% right in colors, that's just I'm colorblind. But there usually is a big blanket out there because they kept the temperature cold in the house, but she still would keep a blanket on her and sleep up there, or lay with the kids and watch TV up there. Because when we were there, everybody stayed downstairs. But when they lived there by themselves, they lived just up in that loft. That's where they stayed all the time. So to have that bed, the blanket or something up there was no big deal. And the pillow very well could have been there. Or she just may have came home and just grabbed it and slept out there. That's where they found their phone.
Mm-hmm.
So she may just grab the pillow and just lay there and slept for the night.
Okay, so it wouldn't be unusual for her to sleep on that couch?
No, it wouldn't be unusual for her to pass out. I mean, she'll pass out on a chair downstairs. I mean, with us, even we were there, and wake her up to go to bed. And she's like her mother about getting up. You're like, get up and go to bed.
Tread lightly.
You know, the wife's like, I call her the alligator because it'll be that one eye would open up and look at you, and it's like, you want go to bed. So it wasn't, like I said, that's not something that uncommon that she wouldn't sleep out there. She passed out watching TV. Plus, she came home late. It may have been already there. He may have been up there sleeping. I don't know. And never went to the bedroom. I don't know. And then maybe she just fell asleep there. I don't know.
Okay.
It's not uncommon though.
Okay.
It's not like they were fighting and she slept out there. I mean, it could have been reasons why she did that or he did that, but it's like I said, she'd be throwing his ass out of the house before she left that house.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing I kept telling these people. She is my wife through and through. And my wife would not leave the house. She'll have me arrested, and that's just the way Shanann is. She wouldn't leave it. Because the house in Colorado, in Charlotte, she built was actually bigger than this house. And it was only her, and she did this all on her own. And then she sold that house, didn't make much off it, but moved out here, and then they built this house. Everything that was from this house is in this house. So yeah. She's a hard worker. She ain't a slack person.
Yeah, sounds like it.
She's been like that ever since she was 16.
Really?
Always work. So yeah, she would have gave up a fight. I'm sorry to say, but it's just how it is. So that's why we're saying he got her while she was sleeping.
Yeah.
Because he's saying these other stories, which. When I heard that, I mean, I was like, you're just adding fuel to your fire, man. You're just burying your, because you got people out here now that are upset about you, and now you're saying that she did this, and it's like you pulled her off. If my wife did that, I would have beat her down and called the cops. I mean, I'm sorry, but I would have beat her and got her down and knocked her out and called the cops. Said, hey, get here now.
Yeah.
You just don't strangle your wife and dump her in a bottle.
Right.
That doesn't make sense to me. I mean, it don't. And since he got built. I mean, he got thin because he was over 200 pounds, and he got himself his little 6-pack, and he got himself his arms. I mean, so he made himself look good, and she still would have knocked him down.
Yeah.
I swear she still would have knocked him. She would have knocked him for a looper.
Yeah.
So that's all. I mean, that's the only thing I have for you guys.
Okay. Well, like I said, I really appreciate your time. If you don't mind, we'll just talk to Frankie real quick.
Okay.
Okay. I'll come down with you. I get up, stretch my legs anyway.